For those of us who suffer from low system processors and graphics card and the constant plain inability to play video games on our older PCs, discovering a game that not only works but works well is beyond amazing. For this list, we've compiled 10 of the best games that run on low-end PCs, and beyond that, these games are plain epic, so be sure to stick around so you don't miss the very last game on this list. At number 10, Assassin's Creed 3. Assassin's Creed 3 is rich in story and details. It features the familiar Desmond Miles, a 21st century assassin who is reliving his ancestors' memories in an attempt to stop the apocalypse from happening in 2012. In the never-ending battle between assassins who want peace and Templars who want control. You briefly get to experience playing as Haytham Kenway, a British Templar who wants the vault that will eventually save the Earth. Then you play as Connor. In the open world of Assassin's Creed 3, you can freely wander around Frontier, which is 1.5 times bigger than Rome in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Go crazy parkouring around trees and rooftops, or make use of the game's multiple weapon features that allow you to battle several enemies at once. Build your own village if you interact and help the NPC characters enough, and admire the weather and seasons simulation. Generally, you have to gather information, kill animals for food and profit, and participate in the occasional epic battle. Number 9. Batman Arkham Origins. Here, we get to look at a younger Batman in the city of Arkham on his path to becoming the Dark Knight. While the game is open world and from a third person's perspective, the game has a detective/puzzle angle. See, there's a bounty over Batman's head, placed by the villainous Black Mask. This bounty draws out villains from the depth of the criminal world of Arkham. You get the likes of the Black Mask Assassin, aid of some of the deadliest villains like the iconic Penguin, Deathstroke, Firefly, and of course, the Joker, and other cameos that I can't spoil for the fun of the game. Use the Batwing for faster traveling and try to solve the Riddler's extortion files. Although some may find the boss fights lacking, everything else does make up for this. The detective mode lets you reconstruct crime scenes to look for evidence. As Batman, roam the streets and clean it of crimes and the many gangs, defuse bombs, and string your enemies up by using the new remote claw gadget. At number 8, we have a classic Need for Speed Underground 2. A massive city and blood-rushing races are one of the secrets to make one of the best open-world games. The premise of Need for Speed Underground 2 is that you're starting over in a new city. When you first begin, the cars are slow, but the more you progress in gaining fame and winning races, the cars get admittedly more awesome and you get to turn and power slide to the extent of your imagination. The game of course centers around racing. You get to customize your car's appearance and performance. Outside of racing, you're encouraged to immerse yourself in the underground world and its lifestyle. Number 7, Mafia. Become incredibly immersed in the life of taxi driver turned mobster and made man Tommy Angelo. He uses his driver's skills into becoming a getaway driver for the major mafia family, the Salieris, led by the ruthless Don Salieri. When Tommy helps 2 mafia members escape an attack from their rival family, the Morellos, he's granted a favor by Don for his services. Then, out of a job and attacked by the Morellos, Tommy joins the Mafia and completes missions for them. Your jobs range from driving to assassinations, bodyguard gigs, racing, and a lot more, all of which move you up the mob chain of hierarchy. The game Mafia is uniquely realistic in several aspects. The ever-changing day and night is one thing, but as a getaway driver, you use, of course, a few of the 51 cars available. These cars can get damaged from overheating and various car ailments. The police can actually write you up for minor offenses like running a red light. The city of Lost Heaven has painstaking details, and the adventures are backed by a thrilling soundtrack. Number 6, Saints Row the Third. Let's start off by saying Saints Row the Third is one of the best games ever. It's also one of the most entertaining, outlandish, violent, hilariously weird action adventure games out there. As the leader of the Saints, you're no longer an alley gang. You're superstars of the criminal world. Hostages ask for your signatures while you rob them, and you party like there's no tomorrow. However, the Saints have grown too comfortable, for the new foe in the third in the series is called the Syndicate. The game mainly revolves around overtaking them and taking over their territory. Outside of that, there's plenty of other missions to do that provide ways to make money and improve your street cred reputation. You can check your bank account and ending your mission by your phone. There's the infamous insurance fraud scheme, which has you throwing yourself against cars for maximum injuries before the timer ends. This way, you can unlock safe houses and will further advance your quest to take down the Syndicate. The game rewards you for being destructive and wreaking mayhem across the new city, Steelport. Number 5, Total Overdose. Total Overdose is like a mix of Grand Theft Auto and Max Payne games. Although it's criticized for its concept, no one can deny the sheer awesomeness that is the gameplay, gunplay, and the combat aspect of Total Overdose. In the first two missions, you can play as Ernesto or his son Tommy, who are DEA agents in 1989. Backstory is that Ernesto is killed from a supposed overdose. Tommy later gets wounded in an unfortunate encounter with a grenade. He calls in his criminal brother, our protagonist, Ramiro, to go in his place to fight the Mexican drug cartel, thus setting off the events of Total Overdose. The third-person shooter, action-adventure, and open-world style wreak absolute havoc in the name of righteous justice and revenge for your family. You have fun, chaotic missions like stealing trucks, killing certain people, or blowing up cocaine-filled trucks. All the fun DEA agents are supposed to have. It's not very realistic in terms of that, but again, games like Total Overdose don't aim for realism, but for fun gameplay. The combat is almost humorous and is certainly iconic. And then there's the epic weapons, assault rifles, shotguns, and rocket launchers. These especially look beyond cool if you choose to shoot while in slow-mo. You can find normal vehicles like military SUVs and trucks, but there is special stuff like the Conquistador. Unlike GTA, these vehicles aren't just left strewn around the streets. Sometimes you'll have to figure out how to get them. Number 4, Far Cry 2. There's the original Far Cry, and the 4 that followed in the series, but we always find ourselves coming back to the true sequel, Far Cry 2. It takes place in a war zone in a city in Africa, torn into 2 factions. Each faction's leader is ruthless and uncompromising. As the player, after you've chosen the character you want from 9 options, your goal is to catch an arms dealer named the Jackal, who's selling to both factions. What's really admirable about this game is its realism. You travel through ever-changing jungles, deserts, and savanna. Day and night are a smooth transition and have an effect on the characters. If you damage your vehicle, you have to repair it, and you better take care of yourself because if you come down with malaria, you'll have to take a pill every 30 to 40 minutes. There's a buddy system involved in this game. The characters you chose not to play with at the start of this game are part of the game. They offer you side missions, and if you complete them, your relationship grows with them until you're best buddies. They offer valuable advice and can be wounded and have permanent deaths. Far Cry 2 is amazing. It's brutal, it's violent, but heartwarming at times and is worth the play. Number 3, The Elder Scrolls Skyrim. This isn't the only Elder Scrolls on here, but this is the one that I couldn't skip as it is one of the best and is legendary on its own. Skyrim is indisputably epic. It takes place 200 years after Elder Scrolls Oblivion, in the middle of a civil war, and if you choose to go along the main quest, your mission is to defeat a World Eater dragon, who's set to destroy the world in a prophecy. You can explore the world for 50 hours and you still wouldn't have seen it all. Skyrim has more freedom in its open world vastness than any other. If you don't want to kill the dragon, then wander the world of Tamriel. Get married and explore. You can't go more than a few paces before encountering something exciting. Whether it's NPCs who you can brawl with, kill, befriend, and hire, or shacks, caves, and dungeons you simply must explore. This game will keep you hooked for not hours or days, but weeks. I can go on forever about Skyrim, but a few selected words will have to do for now to describe what makes it so exciting. There are ancient legends, old gods, spells, all the world exploring you can do, and your own developing abilities that can make you a master of magic. Number 2, Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft Auto is the low-end PC game. San Andreas was awesome, and its success allowed for the numerous games that came afterward. Grand Theft Auto 4 takes over Liberty City as a legal immigrant and war veteran Niko Bellic completes missions and attempts to escape his past despite constantly fighting loan sharks and mobsters. Liberty City is very detailed and massively bigger than the previous game. The game is violent and involves just as many, if not more, assassinations, guns, carjackings, and more. But it's also very centered on realism and focused on providing more details. At number 1, we have The Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Over 14 years later, and The Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion is still one of the best games out there. How great can a PC game be if it's from 2006 and is recommended for low-end PCs? The answer is that it's epic. The world of Oblivion is so detailed, so compelling, and so exciting that the game remains relevant to this day. You can lose yourself in the world of Elder Scrolls, spend hours exploring in its world, meeting people and creatures alike, solving their problems, and completing side missions. The main quest, which takes something like 40 hours, is something about saving the world from an invasion of evil. What's great about Oblivion is that not only are you not forced to do the main quest, But you don't necessarily have to be a hero. Be as pure-hearted as you want and help the Emperor's son as the main quest, or be evil and go on destructive streaks. The universe of the game adapts to your actions, so do in this world as you wish. Alright gamers, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell while you're at it, because we are always releasing new content. So what was your favorite game on this list? Drop it down in the comments below and let us know if there's any game that you think should have been in the list. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.